All right, welcome, my friends. All right, welcome to the Power of Vision workshop. My name is Sonya Eckel, and I am super excited about this workshop. Vision is one of my very favorite things. And so when God inspired me to share this with you, I got really excited. So let's get started. All right, my promise to you after watching this event is that you will walk away with incredibly valuable, might I say, potentially life-changing vision. And so I'm going to be sharing how to grow and improve your life by understanding vision, how to effectively find and define your vision, the massive opportunity that exists when you choose to step into this process tonight and then moving forward, and how you can put your vision into action and invest in you, and then how to be part of a powerful mentorship program and community. All right. Who's this for? Well, if you are someone who would love to have more in your life, but you're just not sure exactly how to break through to that next level, if you're committed to your success and you're willing to take intentional action and you receive coaching well to help you achieve your God-given vision, if you believe that you are called to something bigger and it is your time to soar, then this is for you. If you've wanted to gain the financial funding to make your vision a reality and you're open to strategies for that, this will be helpful. And if you desire to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time so that you can speed your way to actually living out your vision, this is for you. And by the way, if you're watching, I know many of you are entrepreneurs or direct sellers. But if you're here and you don't necessarily have an income vehicle, don't worry about it, because tonight, really, once we know the why, the how always appears, it seems. So tonight is more about finding that vision and getting aligned with that. So super fun. Okay. Who is this not for? If you're really not interested in growing your life, growing your business in any way, if you don't want to increase your impact, and if you just aren't really open to transformation, then you might want to skip this one. It might not be for you. All right. So here is my earning disclaimer. And tonight you're going to walk away with some super valuable information. And it's more than information. I'm calling it a workshop for a reason, because we are actually going to play full out. All right. So you're going to learn how to clarify your vision, your calling, your purpose. This is huge. So many people come and tell me, I don't know what my vision is. I don't really have a vision. So tonight we're going to break through. If you have that story, tonight's your night. We're going to talk about how you can potentially start funding your vision. Yeah, visions often require funding. How I'm going to share how I learned to be able to see my vision and then implement. Um, you're going to see that you're not going to have results just by watching another webinar and, just by being here. You're going to see how the power of an aligned visionary community around you, as well as proven strategies and support, can really help you speed your vision into becoming a reality. And of course, I always need to remind us that there's never a guarantee of income. I am committing to sharing strategies and tools, my personal journey tonight, and inspiration to help you take action. But results, of course, are always based on our personal level of commitment, our actions, and our specific life experiences. And I have to also remind you that my results are not typical. All right, let's get started. So here is, I have a free gift for you as my thank you for staying to the end of the workshop. And so tonight we are going to unpack your vision. And then I think it's always so powerful to put it into a vision board, bring it to life. So I have a customizable vision board for you at the end. Okay, now this is seriously game-changing information. I know I probably don't have to tell you this, but I just want to remind you, put away the distractions. We always think we are really good at multitasking, but it has been shown that we're not. So don't be texting, put the phone, don't be scrolling Facebook, because I really want to invite you tonight to get the best results from your time spent here, to play full out and to trust the process. And I'm calling it a workshop because we're going to do some work together. And maybe some of the things that I'm going to have you do, you've done before. And it's easy to be like, oh, yep, I've done that. And I just want to tell you that most of the things I'm going to teach you tonight, I have done so many times. And every single time I have a new level of breakthrough. So even if you've done it before, I just encourage you, jump in, play full out. All right. I know many of you know me. I see your beautiful faces and names there. I don't see your faces. We don't have cameras on tonight, but I see your names. But for those of you who are new to me and maybe don't really know me, who am I? So here's just a little snapshot about me. Willie's my hubby. We've been married 24 years. We live in Texas. We have 4 boys who are now 21, 19, 16, and 13. I grew up in a farm in South Dakota, and Willie grew up on a farm in Minnesota. And we met in college. I went to physical therapy school with his sister. One of my favorite things is time at our little Texas ranch. I love time in nature and with animals, makes me so happy. I also love travel adventures, so fun. I've been a top direct sales leader for 15 years, and direct sales has been my personal vehicle to bring the vision that God's put within me to life. And so God uses many vehicles. It doesn't have to be direct sales, but that's been mine. I also got to tell you, I love Jesus, and the Bible is legit my favorite book. It is my manual for how I do life, how I do business. And I also have my published book on Amazon. You can find it there. It's called Walking in His Promises. All right. So why would you want to hear what Sonya Eckel has to say about vision? That's a great question. So first of all, on all the skill assessments and personality tests, always the first thing is like vision. So I do believe that God has somehow gifted me in this area. And my friends often tell me that I am naturally visionary, but not only that, but that I have a gift to evoke and bring out and help people find their vision. And then even a step further, achieve their dreams. And that really is, I'm passionate about that. And I intentionally, with God, I co-create my life with Him every single day. And I really live out what I teach you guys. That's my goal anyway. Proof in the pudding, I am currently ranked in one of the top 4 leaders in my direct selling company globally. And for 5 years in a row was named the top income earner in my company. And I have a very large team that have been so successful at achieving their dreams. And so that's just a little bit of my background. I mentioned I love the Bible, so you're going to see some scriptures on my slides. And Habakkuk, I never know how to say it. Habakkuk. Anyway, 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. And I do believe that vision is a biblical principle. So, all right, does any of this sound like you? Hopefully not all of it, but maybe something you'll kind of resonate with. So are you kind of feeling a little stuck or maybe even paralyzed in your business and maybe in life? Just because there's so many trainings, there's so many things happening, and it's hard to know which ones, what do you follow? What do you do to actually get results? Have you ever felt guilty about wanting more? I'm getting some yes, it's me. All right. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, have you ever felt like you were, oh, I shouldn't want more. I'm so blessed. Who am I to want more? Okay. Have you ever tried endless programs of various things that you've paid for and you thought it would be the breakthrough to the next level only to find yourself disappointed? Have you been on the shiny object train, as I call it, where there's always a new flavor of the month? And then are you currently in a state of meh? My kids started using this word a few years back, and it was like, that's the funniest word, but I think it describes when we're just not super motivated, not super inspired, kind of blah in either our business, in our life, in our relationships. If any of this sounds like you, here is the truth. They're all just symptoms. All of that is symptoms, okay? And you actually might be stuck in unproductive mindsets, beliefs, strategies, and lack of clarity. And that's what we're doing tonight. That is what we're doing. Now, I know some of you are already in my program, and I'm super excited to kick it off with vision because I think it's so critically important we start here. All right. So So often we're staying on what I call the hamster wheel of life. We're not being able to see beyond the emergencies of the day, the next bill that we have to pay, the next task we have to check off our list. And while hamsters are kind of cute on hamster wheels, sort of, humans not so much. And so tonight, if you have felt like you just literally are on a hamster wheel, oh, I should have closed those blinds. That's okay. The sun set, it drops quick. But anyway, so if you are ready to step into your vision, I invite you to step off the hamster wheel, at least for tonight. You know, you can hop back on if you miss it. But tonight, you can't see vision when you're stuck in, you can't see the forest for the tree or whatever. I don't know what that saying is. All right. So, what exactly is vision? This is what I think it is. I think it is a clear, God given picture of what your life could be when you take God inspired action. That's what I think. I don't know that Webster's would say that, but that's what I think. And vision gives you purpose and direction. It is seeing beyond your current circumstances and believing in the possibilities of what God has for you. And this is just making me think of Mark 11, verse 24. Oh my goodness, so much. Scripture just tells us so much about how to live. It's so good. So is it time for you to reconnect with your vision again? Or maybe for some of you, it's the first time you've gone here, right? You've just been doing life and you've never stopped long enough to actually think about what your vision is. So why is it important? Vision is what gives you direction. It's like your roadmap for your life. And so if you have a certain place you'd like to end up in your life, then it's pretty important you have a roadmap, right? So vision is one of the things that's going to help you do that. Motivation. If you've been feeling meh, you are probably lacking vision, because vision fuels your passion and it keeps you focused. All right. And it also helps with fulfillment. When you are actually living on purpose, you're living out your vision, you're going to have a more meaningful life, right? Now, before we jump further into vision, we need to stop for a second and talk about core values, because these are going to really play into our vision exercise. All right. So these are your guiding principles. They help you make all your decisions. Obviously, they represent what are really important to you. When you know your core values, it's going to help you stay aligned, which is going to make you feel more true, like you want to be in alignment with your core values. And it's going to also bring enhanced personal and professional results when you are aligned with this. So, how do you find out what your core values are? This is actually a super powerful exercise right here. We're not going to spend a ton of time here because the time is going to fly by, but here's a few things. And you guys, I think in the email, I did ask you to have some paper and a pen. And that's because, again, I really want you not just listening, I want you writing. I want you listening and writing and taking it in and doing this stuff with me. So who's ready? Okay, let's see here. Checking on y'all. Okay, so how do you identify your core values? Some of them you'll just know. You'll be like, this is top of my list. But if you're having some challenges finding them, think about significant life experiences and then go back to those experiences and figure out, why did they have such a deep impact? It's usually either the core values that were in play, or maybe there were some core values not in play, right? Also, think about the people you admire. These are people you look at their life, you resonate with them, you feel like you share something with them. If you spend a little time, you can identify their traits and values. And then you're going to see probably why you're drawn to them is that you're resonating with those things. Look at what you're passionate about and what comes easy to you. This often, like for instance, if you love volunteering, then very likely a high core value is contribution, right? It's easy for you. That's a high core value. You live by that. All right, we're going to help you make a list and prioritize to your top 5. I put together another little gift for you. So if you just go to your computer, hopefully if this all works right, I think it did, I double checked it. It's bit.ly/Sonya's values exercise. And yes, I think you do have to capitalize S, V, and E. All right. So this is just a Google form, nothing fancy, but why I did it in the Google form is, do you see here the 6 little dots when you hover over something? Those, when you click it, you can drag, so you can rearrange. So it's an easy way to go through the list and go, oh, that's me, and then you just drag it up to the top. And it's just a quick little way to find your top 5. All right, another question for you before we dive in full out to the vision. You think back to when you were little. Likely you had an idea of how you wanted your life to look. And some of you maybe are just living it out exactly as you thought. And that's awesome. If you had a strong vision and you are living it, that's great. You might be here to take it to the next level, to figure out that next level vision. But if you feel like, you know what, I had a vision and it is not reality, I just want to, all of these are deep topics, and we're not going to deep dive these tonight. Like, these would be coaching topics, but interesting. Have you ever made vows regarding money? It's very interesting when I talk to people that maybe felt money caused arguments or it was unsafe and whatever, and they actually made a vow to not be rich. So that would be, again, that's a whole nother thing, but it's interesting. So it's worth talking about. How do you think about rich people? Like, in your core, when you think of a rich person, do you think like, oh, they cause most of the problems in the world and whatever, or otherwise? But I mean, it's just good to look at. What's your religious background? A lot of the religions in the world, including many Christians, have belief systems that God loves the poor more, and it's more worthy, more great to be poor, whatever. So it's good to look at that. Also, if you have a fear of being greedy or loving money, look at that. Maybe it's an unworthiness, something worth looking at. And then if you're living in victimhood, so if you are like, I'm just a victim to my circumstances, I just can't help it, it's just all this bad stuff happened, and you're really stuck in your story, that's going to be holding you stuck for sure. So I just want to invite you out of that. You don't have to live as a victim. You actually can live as a victor, and it will change your entire life. So also in that same link, if you scroll down a little bit more, it's just some limiting beliefs. And these are something I just want you to read through them. And it's check boxes on this one. So you can just check them if you resonate with them. Like, oh yeah, I kind of do think that. Check, check, check. Because this means you got some work to do on these. These are running your life. And so in doing the vision work, I just want to say, you can also drag these to bring up the top and kind of arrange it the way you want. All right. All right. This is called, I think it's called the life circle. I did this probably 2 decades ago for the first time I was shown this. And so the idea is that you take like a pencil or something and you color in based on how you would rate all 8 areas of your life. Now, these are just 8 areas. I'm sure there's many more, but how would you rate your health? Is it a 6, a 7? And then you color that in. And then how would you rate your spiritual health? And then your personal growth and your finances, family, career, your ability to have relaxation and fun, your relationships. And you can decide if that's your romantic relationships there or others and whatever. Okay. Now, this next slide is not pretty. I just want to tell you, that's kind of the point. All right. So when you do this exercise, and you can probably find this on Google and print it off if you want, but this is the idea, is that very often certain areas of our life, we're doing really well. Maybe 9, maybe even a 10, like it's some areas are good, but maybe you'll notice, oh, like there's a certain area here where I need to work a little bit to bring that one up. The thing is when it's balanced and all the areas are thriving, life goes smoothly and your vision just like goes. It's just very nice, right? But obviously, if you think about this as a wheel turning around, if this is how life looks and there's certain areas you're strong, but there's certain areas that are really weak, the ride can be kind of bumpy. So it's just worth taking some time to assess each area. All right. And then I also encourage you to jot on your paper, what are some of your talents and gifts? you probably already know them. People say, oh my goodness, you are such a good host. You have the gift of hospitality, right? Or you're such a good listener. You probably know, people tell you, or you just know. So write them down. A few ways to dive deeper on this is, if you have a business right now, what is you love doing in the business? That's going to probably reveal where you kind of have gifting. What activities in life bring you joy and fulfillment? Often they're going to be linked to talents, gifts. What do people come to you for? Like they seek out advice, right? So like for me, people will come to me about mindset stuff, lots. And people will come to me about direct sales stuff. And people come to me a lot about faith questions. So think about that. What skills and gifts, okay, that you know that, and then how can we be using these to serve and bless others and glorify God? All right, I really truly believe that God has put a vision within us. Psalm 139, verses 16 and 17. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Not one person on this planet is here by accident. And I do believe that God has put a vision in us. And tonight we're going to bring that to life. So I just invite you to have your arms and your hearts wide open. And I invite you to dream for a moment. All right. So what would your life look like if, get out the pen and paper. I put my little chickens there because I, like I said, I've done this exercise many times, and I remember doing it, I don't know, several years ago. And at the end, I realized that I wanted animals. I didn't have those at that point. And I wanted chickens, and I had a picture of a lady collecting eggs and holding a chicken. And I was like, that's me. And I'm living that out today. I have these cute little chickens and they lay, it's just fun, right? So I also just want to remind us that this vision is not about filtering and stuff, because it's really God. If he put the vision in you, he will give you what you need to get there, or who you need to help you on the journey. Like, I do believe God often uses who's in our life, the people, and he brings them at the right time. In fact, it's interesting. I was chatting with my son today, and I was just like, I think one of the most important things that I wish I'd learned better earlier, and I still learned it because God he brought people, but mentorship, and how much it can just speed you on your journey. I think it's amazing. All right, let's get started. Grab your paper, grab your pen or pencil. Put in the chat if you are in to play full out. Okay, and Stephanie, we'll go back to whatever website. Was that the core value website? It was, yeah, we'll catch it. Okay, found it, good, awesome. All right, so are you willing to play full out? Put in the comments if you are up for playing full out. And I'm going to invite you to lay down all of your fears, your doubts, your stories, your excuses, your unbelief. And I'm just going to have you write without judgment or filtering. Okay, everyone, are we good? Are we going to do this? All right. And I'm going to have you close your eyes and just listen for a minute, and then we're going to open your eyes, and then we're going to start writing. All right. So I love Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish, right? So vision is so important. Okay. So I want you to imagine that it is June 13th, 2025. And it's a year from today's webinar and workshop here. And over that year, we've been in this mastermind together. Just imagine that this group right here, who's here and watching the replay, that we were all in like this journey together. It kicked off with vision, and then we journeyed together. And now we're having a reunion, and it's June 13th, 2025, and we're all together. And imagine we're actually together in person. So we'll just set the setting. We're at Sonya's ranch. Okay. We're at Sonya's ranch, and we are all here, and it's time, and we're sitting down together, and we're going, Oh my goodness. Can you believe it's just been 12 months since we were together on that first workshop? Oh my goodness. And so now I want you to think about, I'm going to give you some areas of your life that I just want you to think about. When you open your eyes, you're going to write about the ones that are most meaningful. Okay. So again, going back to that circle of life, you're going to think about, your spiritual faith, your family. How does that look? Relationships, your career. What does that look like? How's that going? Your business. What does your lifestyle look like? How are your finances? What does that bank account look like? And how is your health? Okay. So go ahead and open your eyes. I know some of y'all are like me and you want to put those at the top of your paper. So write them at the top. Faith, family, relationships. You can put marriage on there if you want, if you're married or if you want to be married. Um, Business, finances, health, lifestyle. All right. So I am actually going to set my timer for a little bit here. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to start writing. And again, you are just going to let your pen flow. So what I want you to feel is you are looking at our group here. We're sitting over here at the ranch and we're all together. And it's your turn to share what's happened in the year. And you say to us, oh my goodness, I cannot even believe all that God did in my life this year. Or if you're not into faith, I can't even believe all the things that came into my life this year. All right. And then you start writing and you don't stop till I say stop. And I'm not going to tell you how much time because then you get in your head. So I'm just going to set the timer over here and I'll tell you when it's time. And seriously, like, don't miss this opportunity and just write until the timer goes off. So if you run out of things to write, keep writing anyway. Okay. Because it's often in that last bit where you're like, I think that's it. Keep writing. You're going to uncover some gold. Okay. All right. On your marks, get set. Let's go. I'm going to mute while you guys write. And those of you watching the replay, do it real time. Do it. Okay, bring it to a close. Right, the last couple sentences. All right. Okay, so I am looking at, okay, so I would love to hear your feedback, and I think I can open the lines to talk. So I don't think it's video, but it does allow you to share. So I want to invite you, if you would like, to come on and share what you wrote. But here's the magic sauce on this is that you share it as if you're sitting across from in the living room with me, and this has all happened. Everything you wrote, it's now, it's real, it's happening. And so then I would love if you would put in the chat if you'd be game to be unmuted and share it like from your heart. So I don't know if anyone's so brave. Yay. Okay, awesome. Sherry, I saw you first pop up. So let me see. I'm going to try this allow to talk. All right, Sherry, you're on. Welcome.
Hi, Sonya. Can
Oh
you
my
hear me?
God, I'm so excited. I can't believe we get to be at this reunion together. Tell me what has happened in this past year for you.
I am so strong in my faith. I had no idea I would be such a meaningful, my relationship, let's see, this free flow writing, such a meaningful and personal, intimate relationship with the Lord. He has gotten me through tough times and loved me in spite of my sin. He is truly my very best friend, and I am glad I am his and I love him. I have made stronger connections with family and friends. I do not connect with toxic people anymore. I have wonderful, loving people in my life. My health is the best. I have lost over 50 pounds, no longer pre diabetic, and I can move well. My business is booming, and I'm making it well as a teacher. And I am traveling to places I have never been to before.
Oh my goodness, where have you been to travel?
I have been to the Bahamas and Spain.
Oh, sorry, my alarm went off. You've been to the Bahamas, and what was the other one?
Spain.
I love it. Okay. And you're feeling amazing. Oh my goodness, you look amazing. This is so fun to be together. I love that. Well, Sherry, thank you for sharing. And I'm just celebrating with you.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay. So, all right, we got that. Let me see if I can. Okay, I think that worked. Ah, Sherry, thank you. That was so beautiful. So the idea of this is actually whether or not you volunteered here to do it, I would say I want you to tell this story full out from your heart as if it is now. It is done, right? So I'm going to give you one of my favorite Bible verses, Mark 11, verse 24. Pray believing that you have received and it will be yours, or it will be anyway. I should have written that one on here, but anyway, so it's done. It's done. Like believe at that level. So that's the power of visions. It's part of the power of vision. All right. So my next question for you all is, what have you been praying for? Because oftentimes the things that you're praying for, are part of your vision, that those have been resolved, those needs have been met, whatever. Now, have you ever considered that perhaps fear, doubt, unworthiness, guilt, shame, scarcity, poverty mindset, indecision, oh my goodness, that's a big one, may have shut the door on the miracles that God has been wanting to deliver to you? I mean, I'm serious. Like, what miracles have you been blocking in your life because of fear, doubt, unworthiness, guilt, shame, scarcity, poverty, indecision? I think it's a valid question because it can change. And the first person that you need to enroll in this vision is you. So that's why I want you to go and I want you to read that aloud, whether you're the only one in the room. Enroll yourself first, because it really is when we are believing this vision, that is what inspires us into intentional and inspired action. Okay. So, do you actually believe the vision you wrote out is 100% possible? Because you should. With God, all things are possible. That last I checked is 100%. So, all right. A big part of your success is your ability to see and believe the vision of what's possible for your life. And one of the biggest mistakes that we humans make is we think we're human doings, and that is all about what we do, but it's really about who we be. It's how we're being and then the vision we're seeing. So I invite you to actually have courage, and it does take courage to build and live the life of your dreams and start implementing based on this vision. And I invite you to become decisive. And I also invite you to understand the power of investing in you. So one key to growing us is the community that we bring around us. What's cool is we don't always get to choose everything, family and whatnot, but we do get to choose our mentors, our community, and this is big, we get to choose how we show up every day. And that actually changes everything that's going on around us. So that's huge. And we get to choose the words we speak out over ourselves, as well as our loved ones, our businesses, our finances, our teams, everything. So we want to steward our words well. Okay. So I invite you to imagine, I'm just putting pictures to what maybe you wrote down. Very often when I do this vision exercise, there is a family component. People want unity and harmony in their family. They want closer, deeper relationships. Imagine that you do get to travel. You do get to go to those places that you've seen the pictures, and you get to be there and in it. For a lot of people, their vision is tied to being free from debt. And we do know that debt can make us a slave. And so what a beautiful thing to free from that. Maybe you need a new vehicle. Maybe you're really focused on retirement. For me, this was probably my number one. I hate financial stress. And I didn't know how much I hated it until I became an at-home mom and I just don't like it. So for me, a big part of my vision is not having stress. All right. So now we've got the vision. You've written it, you've made it plain. And now it is time for you to think about, how do you reverse engineer that vision so that it actually happens? Dreams without goals are just dreams or whatever. I don't know. There's some saying about that. So let me just quick ask you a question. I do have a super detailed course that will help you reverse engineer your vision and implement business strategy, reset your money mindsets. I wrote a book on that, y'all. I'm very passionate about that one. Multiply your business in alignment with God's word and in his strength, not your own. So if that sounds like something that would be helpful, can you just put a yes in the comments if you'd like that? And then I will just go through and kind of share with you what I've got. All right. So imagine doing life with God inspired strategies. This is how I love doing life. I love it. 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 It is my favoriteest thing. And I didn't always understand this. And that's why God is calling me to teach it, is because he had to teach me. And now he's like, okay, go teach my people how to live and walk out God inspired strategies, and also having an aligned community and coach, with the idea of, when you find good mentorship, it saves you so much time, and that time helps you make more money, which is a win. All right. So why don't people reach their vision? I think everyone has some degree of vision. Why not? So one of the reasons is that they have vision, but they have no accountability, like healthy mentorship. And so they don't ever break through to the next level. They tend to get stuck in indecision and inaction. And to me, that's a good mentor, is helps you get past that. And this is, again, I was at the ranch, I was praying about this course, and God gave me multiplication transformation. I went and saw if that website was available, and it was. I was like, all right, I love it, because that's my passion, is helping us actually not stay the same. Like, let's transform. You see my butterflies? Butterflies are awesome for transformation. And they come in a caterpillar and they leave one of the most beautiful beings. It's just so good. All right. So what have you been praying for? And what if this offer is exactly God's answer in prayer? And the reason I say this is because I I pray about everything, but I have an amazing assistant team. Like, I have several assistants who help me keep my life together, and I adore them. And so one day, someone reached out, who I also adore, and she said, "Hey, do you need help with anything? Like, would would you need an assistant?" And I said to her, I go, "Well," at that point, I had 5 assistants. I was like, "Well," or 4 maybe. I said, I do have 4. I'm not sure, but I said, let me pray about this. I'm going to go and pray about this. And so I went and prayed about it. I just felt the Holy Spirit. Like, I mean, I'm kind of laughing now, but I felt him go, "You keep saying help." And I went back and I was like, "Help me, Lord." Like, I had so many pieces of my business covered, but there were some pieces of my life that I didn't have covered. And he literally was sending the answer to me. And I was about to say no, because I thought, oh, I can't, can't afford it or whatever. So anyway, that is just goofy, right? So sometimes the things that we've been praying for are right in front of us. I do believe that action takers are difference makers. These have been my hashtags for a long time, and I'm big about action. So what is it in your life that you are putting brakes on miracles? If you find yourself that you said yes to that earlier, I would say something to consider is, one of the things that really moved me forward in my business was decisiveness. I was very indecisive, and it was rooted in this fear of making a bad decision, which was rooted in perfectionism. And so I was indecisive. I just was, and it was not helpful. And I realized through one of my mentors, I was like, that's not helpful. And that day, I gave myself permission to become a decisive person. And I am one of the most decisive people now. And so, yeah, it's interesting though, where we show up one way, we show up everywhere. So it's kind of cool to assess that. All right, another reason people don't achieve their vision is they haven't figured out how to multiply income. This is actually a biblical principle. We could deep dive that, but the fact is, most people's visions require a little more funding. Amen, right? So a lot of people have a 9 to 5, and then maybe they have like another stream of income. But oftentimes, if they're living on a 9 to 5, they're living on it. And so they're looking for that extra. All right. So multiplying residual income with Holy Spirit transformation. That's why the course is named what it is. If you have found that you just don't follow through in the past, I want to invite you this time to play full out and not sell out on yourself. In this, you're going to learn powerful strategies. I am a strategy girl. I love strategy. You're going to learn technology hacks that help you do things so much faster, and how to build your brand in alignment with who God calls you to be. And I'm going to walk you through how to effectively open conversations. I feel that this is one of the biggest things I coach people on, is how to effectively do conversations, and then build a customer base, multiply your efforts. Like, that's a biggie. And automated systems, I'm very big into automation, but don't automate the wrong things. Don't automate the you right out of your business. But will be showing, like, how do I multiply my time? And I'll also just be teaching you, like, how do you show up in the world to truly engage your people, serve them, love them, and then build your email list, build your contacts. And so if you decide to jump in on this, here is what you're going to get. 3 Zooms per month to answer your questions. These are live. And I say 6,000 in value. Don't worry. I'm not going to charge you 6,000 for this program. But seriously, this value, if you show up, you've got me answering your questions and helping you with verbiage and helping. So that is, I think, super fabulous. Now, another reason people don't achieve their vision is they don't actually have an intentional strategy. They're constantly changing lanes, trying to figure out what works. All right. So another thing you're going to get is online business strategy. I've been building my online presence since about 2010. And I've learned so much about online presence, influence, reach, and growth. So I think that will be a lot of fun. I think that online is wonderful for multiplying your time, keeping you in front of new people, and attracting paying clients as well. All right. Also in person. I am a big in-person girl as well, because I really believe in developing your local authority, keeping you in front of new people. So we'll talk about that. And then also the leadership development. So if you're in direct sales, this is huge. This is the make or break between multiplication versus addition, right? And so that is something, when we go back to my skills, a lot of people have come to me many, many times over that leadership development. And I think that is a powerful training. Now, I think these are all worth several thousand. Like in a business, when you're effective in 1 month, I have found that I was able to make 2,000 when I would shift a strategy or a skill. So yeah. Okay. What else could you need than that? But wait, I've got so much more. All right. Another reason that people don't achieve their vision is they're afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of failure. And so to stay safe, in the safe zone, they choose inaction. Think about it. Think about all the people in your life who are stuck in inaction because it keeps them safe and it keeps them from, quote, failing. So we're also going to talk about biblical principles, which is huge to break through on deeper levels than just business. And as you know, I love the Bible. And then another reason people don't achieve their vision is they sell out. They quit before they even get started. And what happens if we are so afraid to pursue our true calling, our true vision, and our calling is we don't get to impact our family's legacy the same way. Like who else do we take down when we give up on ourselves and when we don't trust ourselves to take that step? I have a bonus. This is actually an awesome bonus. I've been doing these already and they've been amazing. So a one-on-one strategy call to really hone in on your vision, where your breakdown points have been in the past, and then help that do the business plan as we move into working together. 60 minutes, and then systems and methods. So I'll be sharing with you like forms that I use and systems and things like that. And then priceless, biblical principles, power of prayer. I believe in praying over everything. So you better believe we're going to be praying. Another reason people don't achieve their vision is they're afraid to invest. And this is really big. So this is often a poverty mindset. And when we view the whole world in terms of spending, and the wealthy view the world in terms of investing. And so when we spend, it's gone. There's really not a lot of getting anything back. When we invest, it multiplies. And so just like keeping those two things separate is really good. Now, so you see that the total value I actually think is over this. It's incredible because when you have breakthrough, it's massive. And I'm not going to charge you that much money, believe me. But if all it did was it helped you build that residual component to your income, think about that. Residual money keeps working when you're not able to. It's pretty pivotal. What if it just helped you find the one rock star leader? Would that be worth it? If all it did was finally put you in a position to know how to help your struggling team members and help them make money for their family? What if it helped you learn how to build your team and build their vision and then build them into leaders? Would it be worth it? So had a couple of choices with this program. God called me to do this. I've loved my journey with direct sales. I continue to love it. I do coaching there. And I felt God was calling me to coach and speak beyond just my direct sales team. And so I had two choices. I could create like a, $97 system, or I could actually create something with such insane value that I actually think it will live up to the name of transformation. So this has a lot of value. This current price is $2,1997. So here's just a few of those bonuses that I was just saying. Also, scriptures to pray over your life. That's incredibly powerful. So why am I offering it at a very low price? Because honestly, I have invested in mentorship and it has changed everything. But I've paid tens of thousands for mentorship. And so when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, it is insanely low. Why? Well, because God is calling me to serve you guys and help you break through. And my belief is that we are going to have an incredible transformative year together. And that at the end, you are going to be saying, I am living in multiplication instead of addition. And hopefully you're spreading the word, you're sharing your thoughts, you're, giving a review or something and sharing with others why you think this can bless them as well. So got a couple options. You can do nothing and just carry on. You guys are all very amazing people, and I'm sure you'll do awesome. So that's option one. Option two is jump in, make this small investment. I do believe it's going to be game changing. Number one, not because of me, but because the Holy Spirit's hands are all over it. And so I know he's going to do amazing things. And so you can jump in faith and give it a shot, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So maybe you're in your head. I've been in my head. Sometimes you're like, well, my business is in a slump right now. Now is not a good time, or our economy is down, or I just don't know if we can afford it right now. And I know this sounds a little cliche, but here's what I've learned about good coaching is, can you afford not to? And secondly, I will tell you, if your business is in a bit of a slump, that's actually one of the best times to invest in coaching where you build the strong foundation. Because when you're in the middle of momentum, you feel like you're behind a ski boat, like just hanging on. That's not the time that you have time to be, building the foundation, putting in the systems, and building the habits of success. The other really cool thing I've discovered is money replenishes. So it turns out God is not a God of scarcity, and he actually, is pretty abundant. And money does have a way of growing, especially when we make investments in ourselves and growing that. Okay, here's one. God gave me this visual. He does that every once in a while. And so take it for whatever it's worth. But just the idea that maybe you feel like you've kissed a lot of frogs. And what I mean about this is maybe you've paid a lot of money for a lot of different courses and you just didn't even open them. And the reason I know about kissing frogs is I have paid a lot of money for a lot of courses that I didn't ever open. And I remember one course I invested a lot of money in. And I just was like, oh my goodness, like I've let myself down. I've paid money for other stuff. I didn't do it. I'm so glad I didn't let that keep me, because the next course was one of the most transformative things I've ever paid money for. Now, when you are choosing a mentor, a coach, a course, whatever, here's what I think is important, and you can make your own checklist, but find someone who has aligned values. So like, for instance, if you're watching this, I hope you got value, whether or not you're a Christian, whether or not you like the Bible, doesn't matter. Like, there is value in the vision exercise, everything. But if you really are like, I don't like mixing faith, this Jesus stuff, not for me, I'm probably not your coach, to be honest. Because if you can't tell, I love God and everything. It is like everything. But finding a coach with aligned values is so important. Find someone who's actually lived it out in real life. There's a huge number of people who are coaches out there who haven't actually achieved what they're teaching. So, I think that's important. Some real world results. Someone who understands the multiplication, duplication is going to make it more worth your money. And someone you feel a personal connection to, again, going back to whatever that is. And then whole person coaching. Like, I don't think business coaching is ever just about business. It's about way deeper things. When we transform us, our business transforms. So my question is, what if you find that coach that checks out the box? What if you find your prince of a coach, and then that is the course, the thing that shifts everything for you? So imagine this. We're going back to our imagination. I just want you to picture you absolutely love your business and your income. I think sometimes people think these are like exclusive of each other. If I work, I'm going to work so hard if I make money that I won't love my business anymore, or, I'm making whatever. So they're not mutually exclusive. They actually should go hand in hand. You have a clear direction every day, and you have a plan to implement daily. You have a bigger vision that's guiding you and keeping you inspired. And that's what we talked about tonight. You understand why you do what you do. You show up in a powerful way, not just in your business, but in all areas of your life. Your confidence grows, and literally you are shining in your God-given purpose. And I have people come up to me, random strangers. They're like, do you know you shine? I was like, no, that's God. That's the Holy Spirit. But often we're so clouded with all the baggage we've been hauling around that we're not allowing ourselves to shine in his spirit, right? And every day you get to choose success, and you get to actually live that out. Imagine what that looks like. All right. So I'm inviting you tonight to work with me. I would be so delighted if you say yes. I will share proven, tested strategies. This is coming from someone who has an 8-figure in a month sales team. Okay. Like, this is, I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to break through to new levels. And I want to see you win big. Now, it's not for you if maybe you already have a coach who's helping you break through and you're really resonating. But if you have someone who's not moving you forward, this might be a good fit. If you don't like being called out on your stuff and you prefer to stay in your stories and your excuses and stay in your current situation, I will be straight up. I'm not your girl. That's not my style. I shoot it pretty straight. If you don't like being stretched into actually taking action, again, I'm not your girl. I'm an action girl. And if you are someone who doesn't like mixing faith with business, not me. All right. So, woohoo, we made it. Okay. I would love to hear your top takeaways, and I would love to hear your vision. If you want to type it up, make it plain, and send it out, that'd be super fun. Here is my gift to you. All right. And then in the comments, I'm going to put some links. Now go ahead and click these links and open them all on your computer. And these are 3 different vision boards. So what I do is I actually create them electronically. It's very fast. It's way better than cutting out pictures from magazines like we used to do, because you can actually put you in it. And so I've got some of my example stuff in there, just to kind of get your creative juices flowing. But what's cool is when you use these customizable boards, you can literally should be able to just drop your pictures in there. And my picture will go away, and you can drop in and stuff like that. So as we bring this plane to a landing, my question is this what you've been praying for? If I were able to be your mentor to help you navigate, help you with strategies, verbiage, mindset, skills, all the things, and you get all the things that I went through, then multiplicationtransformation.com is where you can sign up. There is a payment plan if you need to do payment. Well, thank you, my friends. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. And I do pray that this changes you as you start thinking about vision differently, and as you have more clarity of your vision, and then, stepping into how do you reverse engineer that back to bring that into being.